Hello and welcome to L2R. I'm Kinaesthesia, and today I'll be going over the strategy for Maloriak on the heroic difficulty. This Bill Nye the Science wannabe hasn't quite led the most accomplished life. Let's help him out and end it for him. If he thinks you're going to be the raid that helps him shine, we'll show you how to stir up some real trouble. Maloriak is a two-phase encounter with a bit of a twist. Phase 1 consists of multiple mini-phases, while Phase 2 is a more traditional burn phase. Overall, the encounter will require good execution and discipline. Maloriak has around 121 million HP, and you'll want to bring 2 to 3 tanks, 6 to 7 healers, and a balanced DPS makeup. This strategy guide assumes that you are familiar with the normal mode of the encounter, and as such, the normal mode mechanics. For a more in-depth look at the overall encounter, please refer to LearntoRaid's Normal Mode Maloriak Strategy Guide. Maloriak and his adds will retain all of their normal mode abilities. On Heroic Mode, however, Maloriak will gain an entirely new Phase 1 mini-phase. Nefarian will start the fight by tossing dark energy into the cauldron. This act signals the beginning of the Black Phase. At the start of this mini-phase, Maloriak will vomit 5 vile swills. These small sludge-like adds have around 5.5 million HP each and will repeatedly cast dark sludge. Targeted void zones that are shot at random players and tick for moderate shadow damage every half second. The pools will despawn when the vile swills are killed. Maloriak's primary ability during this phase is Engulfing Darkness. This frontal cone breath deals 25,000 shadow damage every second for 8 seconds, and reduces healing taken by 100% for its duration. In addition to this, the boss will be immune to taunt during this phase. For the majority of the encounter, Maloriak will be handled just like he is on normal mode. The main difference will be how to handle the new Black Phase. The Black Phase will always be the first in the lineup, meaning it will always come before Red and Blue. Allow the main tank to build decent threat on the boss since he will not be tauntable. When the Black Phase begins, he will summon 5 vile swell adds. These adds must be DPS down before the phase ends. Have the off tank pick up all 5 adds and begin to slowly move them in a circle around the front half of the room. Melee will follow these and cleave them down while ranged turret from around the kite area. While these adds are alive, they will shoot sludge around the room that players must very quickly move out of. The sludge hits for only a moderate amount, but ticks very fast. The most important task for all DPS in this phase is to avoid as much sludge as possible. Prioritize avoiding damage over doing damage. While this is occurring, the main tank will be repeatedly taking Engulfing Darkness breaths from Maloriak. While the boss is casting this breath, the tank will not be able to receive heals. It is cast every 11 seconds and channeled for 8 seconds. This means that the tank must be topped off between each breath. It's best to assign 1 to 2 healers to focus on the main tank and make sure that he remains topped off between breaths. A Discipline Priest shines here since the breath does not reduce the amount of absorption the tank can do. Past this phase, the fight behaves exactly as it does on normal mode. Your raid must decide on a strategy for aberrations and assign interrupters to the proper cast. We have our off-tank kite aberrations around the front half of the room, using frost traps to help. Another option is to have 2 off-tanks simply tank all of the aberrations. The breath during Rid phase will do an exceptional amount of damage on heroic difficulty. This is where the raid should use damage reduction cooldowns or healing cooldowns such as Power Word Barrier, Aura Mastery, or Health Stones. Although it's possible to get through the fight in 1 mini-phase cycle, most skills will need to contend with 2 cycles before pushing to Phase 2. If the transition will be close, it's best to use Heroism during the second green phase. Phase 2 begins at 25% health and works just like normal mode. You'll need to be extra cautious of Frost Orbs and Magma Jets as these abilities will do much higher damage. Use a Tranquility and Hymn rotation for Acid Nova. This is necessary so that healers can focus more healing on keeping tanks alive. Keeping the tanks alive is key to your raid's success in this phase. Have the off-tank or off-tanks tank or kite the aberrations in front of the room, while the raid focuses down Maloriak. Phase 2 is still a burn phase, and you'll need to get the boss down before the raid dies by attrition. Maloriak is not too difficult for an average raid. Once interrupts have been sorted out and the raid knows how to react to each phase, progress should be steady. Stay focused on avoiding as much damage as possible and being in the right spots at the right time, and your raid should bring the boss down with relative ease. Thanks for checking us out here at L2R. We hope this guide was helpful, and we'll see you at the next boss.
I wasn't feeling so good. I just didn't feel like playing anymore. So I went home, and I got all comfy and cozy and all scrunched up in front of my phonograph.